Okay, so for this video, I'm going to go over the filter function from dplyr, and I'm just going to give a bunch of examples to show you different scenarios on where you might want to use it. So to get started, just make sure you load the dplyr package. And for these examples, I'm going to use a Marvel character dataset, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to download this. So let's say if we wanted to return all Marvel characters with blue eyes. Store the results in filtered data. We just use the filter function. Now the first argument is just going to be the data set that we want to filter. In this case, it's called Marvel. And now the second argument is just going to be the column that we want to filter. So in this case, it's eye color. And then we just say the values that we want to return. So in this case, it's eye color that equals, and make sure you use two equal signs, blue. Now if we view the filtered data, we can see it returned all of the characters with blue eyes. Now you can keep adding arguments to the filter. So let's say if we wanted the eye color equal to blue, and then we only want to return female. So you can just add to this and say sex equals female. And you can add as many arguments as you want. You could keep going here and just say alive, living, and so forth. So here, this is now going to just return all the characters with blue eyes, female, and they're currently living. And you can see that's what we have here. Blue, female, living. The other thing to note is that when you put a comma here in between each argument, it's the same thing as putting an ampersand. You can use either one interchangeably. It's up to you what you like better or what you'd rather see. So if I click here, you'll see that there'll be no changes. And just to show that it's working, we'll change this to male. And you can see it returned now the same data set, but instead of female, it has the male characters. So ampersand or comma, it's whatever you like better. But you can use the OR logical operator as well in the filter function. So let's say if we wanted to either return eye color equals blue or characters with brown eyes. So then we just add it to this, but instead of putting a comma or an ampersand, we put the OR sign. So now what this is saying is return from the Marvel dataset eye color that's equal to blue or eye color that's equal to brown. You can see updated here, and now we just have characters with blue or brown eyes. So there's another way to also write this other than writing the OR operator. We can use the %ins function. So instead of equals, we could say eye color %in %, and then put the values that you want to include in eye color into a character vector like this. So what this is basically saying is filter from the Marvel dataset and return eye color that's in this character vector. So we press enter. See, it's not going to update. And if we want to add to this, we can add as many values as we want. So let's say if we wanted blue, brown, and hazel eyes, we could just add that to the character vector. And then when we go back to the filter data set, you could see here that it returned blue, brown, and hazel. Now let's say if you wanted to return all eye colors except blue, brown, and hazel, you can use the exclamation point or bang operator in front of eye color. And you can see here we have all eye color except for these three values. So we have green, gray, NA, black, one eye. Doesn't seem like an eye color, but anyway, I've seen people put I've seen people use the exclamation point in front of %in because, you know, it makes logical sense because you're saying not in this list or this vector, but this won't work. So just make sure that you use the exclamation point in front of the column that you're filtering on. So all of our examples so far have dealt with filtering text, but it's just as easy to filter numeric values. So here you can see that we have a column that says appearance, and it says how many times the character appeared since their first appearance. So let's say if we want to return all characters that have appeared more than 2,000 times, all we'd have to do is, again, just filter the data set you want to filter on, column name you want to filter. So here we're saying appearance in all cases where it's over 2,000. And we refresh that, and we can say here we have the characters that have appeared over 2,000 times. And again, we can use the OR logical operator with numeric values as well. So let's say if we wanted all characters that appeared over 2,000 times, or all characters that have appeared exactly 4 times. And then we'll refresh that, and we can see that we got all the characters here that appeared over 2,000 times, and you can see the characters that appeared exactly 4 times. Okay, now another scenario, you might want to find values between two numbers. So in this case, let's say if we wanted all characters that appeared more than 1,500 times, but less than 2,000 times. We just combined it with a comma or and, ampersand. So what this is saying is return all values between 1,500 and 2,000. And we refresh that, we'll see here we have all the value, we have all of the characters that appeared between 1,500 and 2,000 times. So there's another way of doing this as well. We can use the between function within filter. So to do this, you start off by, again, saying filter, the data set you want to filter. And then you write between the column where the values will appear. This case appearance. So the first argument will be the low value. In this case, it's 1,500. And then the second argument will be the larger value. In this case, it's 2,000. And actually, let's change it a little bit just so we'll get different results. So we'll make the low value here 1,300. Refresh the data, and you can see now we got all the values between 1,300 and 2,000. So another function we can use when filtering numeric values is the function called near. And it's kind of similar to between in that you write near the column you're looking to filter. Second argument here is the value you want all the values to be near. So let's say if we want to return all characters that appeared near 1,000 times. And then the third argument here is going to be the tolerance. So let's say if we make this 100, then this is going to be all characters that appeared near 1,000 times plus or minus 100. So we refresh and we can see that we have highest value at 1,050 and the lowest at 1,000. And then we can give another example. We'll just create a little bit larger of a spread. So we'll say plus or minus 300. We'll refresh, and you can see that increase the result a little bit, but everything is within 700 to 1,300. And then finally, you can use the filter function to take out NA values. We saw a few of them earlier within iColor. So let's say if we just want to return all the characters where the year they first appeared is NA. So here we could just say is NA. Refresh, you can see these are all the characters that they don't have anything entered in for year for whatever reason. And now let's say if we wanted to remove all of the NA values and return a list of only characters that have information entered in for year. Again, we can use the exclamation point or the bang operator in front of is.na. And now this will return the data set of all characters that have information listed in year, or at least that it's not NA. And those are the scenarios I had for the filter function. If you have any questions, just comment below. And thanks for watching.